Good day. This is Cast Iron ASMR with Nelvana of the Northern Lights. It's Canada's first superheroine. We're going to take a look, but I am getting ready for Canada's 159th birthday. It's tomorrow. And so I had to find my Canadian flag. It's all wrinkly. So I'm going to do some left-handed ironing. I'm not very experienced with ironing. I don't know what's that? Oh, there is some steam. I thought you pushed this thing in for the steam. There's some. I got this hardcover comic book, Nelvana. Of the Northern Lights. I only read the first comic. We'll take a look. We'll just take a quick look-see. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too cringy. I did read the first story. Let's unplug my iron. Kind of sounds like Darth Vader. Okay. Here she is. This predates Wonder Woman. Some may call her the first superhero, female superhero maybe. I don't know. I did read the foreword. And I remember when this came out and I flipped through it there. I think it's 2015 that it came out. And they were touring. And there she is, promoting this. She was on a stamp, Nelvana. If you know a little bit about animation, not computer animation, Canadian animation. There's a Canadian animation studio called Nelvana. And it's taken after this comic book character. So let's take a look. It's black and white. It's back when in World War II, they were no longer sending American comic books to Canada. But there was a demand for the comic books. And so some smart publishers picked it up right away and made some characters, printed them without color. And here's one of them. Nelvana. Of the Northern Lights. Also, referred to as the Aurora Borealis. So here she is. Maybe I'll read the back of the book here. You think, oh, who's that Scooby-Doo type character? Let's see what they say on the back. Nelvana of the Northern Lights returns from the lost pages of Adrian Dingle's Triumph Comics. First appearing in 1941, Nelvana was tasked with protecting Canada's Northlands. Using the powers of the Northern Lights, Nelvana could fly at incredible fast speeds, become invisible, and even turn into dry ice. She used her great powers to ward off Nazi invaders, shady fur traders, and subterranean mammoth men. Also interdimensional ether people. With the aid of her brother, Taniro, a demigod cursed to appear as a Great Dane. That's her brother. and her sidekick, Mountie, Corporal Clean. He doesn't appear in the first one. I haven't seen him yet. Nelvana was a steady force for good for 6 years before the adventures came to an end. And then all the Canadian kids got their Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman comics back when the war ended. But yeah, I just got this from the library, and I haven't read the first one. So here's how the story goes. This is her origin. Many, many years ago, as legend has it, Koliak the Mighty, king of the Northern Lights, married a mortal. This so angered the gods that a curse was placed upon Koliak, forbidding him to be seen again by earthly beings. That's the brother. His spirit may still be seen in the form of brilliant lights. That's the father, the king, that streak majestically across the northern skies. His beautiful daughter, Nelvana, inherits her mother's characteristics and is often seen by human eyes. Her brother, Teniro, carries the curse of his father, and so must never be seen by those of the white race. Follow the exciting adventures of Nelvana and Teniro every month as they protect the Arctic brothers from the evil plans of the Kablunuts. The Kablunuts are just like the white people. So I thought, yeah, that sounds pretty neat. That's kind of cool. And then death stalks the Arctic. I was reading this and I thought, oh, this is all presented as it was made, and I thought, it was much less, how did they say it, culturally sensitive times. And I thought, am I going to be able to do this? But this first story, at least, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't, we got the great chief that calls his men together. And people, oh my goodness, all the tribes from all over the north are coming to see the great chief, because there's an unseen force stealing the fish and the seals from the northern waters, cutting off their food supply and threatening the Arctic race with death by slow starvation. So all these people are coming. See, Tadjo. It's treacherous. Some people don't make it. It's brutal. But they go on. They gotta reach the mighty chief. And when they come, oh yeah, they needed, all the tribes were coming and they were bringing food. But not a lot of them made it. Start beating the drums while they're making some igloos. And Tadjo, the chief, he's gonna summon Nelvana. So they build a special snow altar. They call her. Look at the great emotion on the chief's face. The earth is lighted by the blazing aurora. They say aura. An unseen hand seems to rock the snow altar. There she is. It's Nelvana. The awe-stricken people look to see the beautiful vision appearing. Nelvana, daughter of the northern lights, appears above them, surrounded by a glowing light. Regally, she descends to earth, toward a sea of faces upturned with mingled expressions of bewilderment, amazement. she alights herself atop the snow altar. The mighty chief throws himself down at her feet. She's direct to the point. Tell me what purpose I was called. O Heavenly One, some evil force steals our fish. Our trappers hunt in vain. They're suffering from hunger. So she looks above to the heavens. I call on my brother, Teniro, to help. Come to my side and rid our country of this evil thing. The Arctic silence is suddenly broken. A mysterious spiral of light is forming. Nelvana and Tajo watch a weird illusion taking place, and look, you can see the humanoid form of Nelvana's brother. The figure of a man alights beside them. Sister, tell me the evil news. Happens here. Nelvana is about to speak, but there's an ear-piercing roar that splits the horizon. Boom. This is the work of the evil white ones. And so, my brother, you must assume your disguise as no white man. No white one must ever gaze upon your human form. So Nelvana hastily unfastens her magic cloak. That's a magic cloak. And Teniro stoops down, allowing Nelvana's cloak to cover him. The cloak settles. A peculiar change takes place. The outline is transformed. Nelvana chants a magic phrase, and as the cloak is drawn away, they're amazed to see Teniro in another form. Kind of looks a little bit like Scooby-Doo. When they fly up, Nelvana's firmly gripping Teniro's collar. So I don't know if she's like pulling him up or if he can fly as well. They're going towards the pole star. So meanwhile, there's these boats, these ships, and they're lowering these queer phosphorescent, they're like bombs. No sound is heard, just a gentle plop made by the slowly descending lights breaking the ocean's surface. Oh, there's our villain. It's Commander Toroff. He's surveying his operations. So these cables lowering these lighted things. Can you guess what they are? And then all the animals are attracted. The seals, the polar bears, the killer whales. Let's call those Arctic char. Suddenly Nelvana and Teniro notice below them a stretch of curious glittering water. Resting on a light shaft, they catch sight of disappearing ships. And this part's pretty cool. So Teniro remains on guard, and Nelvana inspects the light at close range and makes a discovery. Those lights are time bombs. mighty Koliak, my father, send us the power to destroy this menace. So then instantly, the northern lights twist and turn into a large mass. So our father can still aid them in their adventures. Koliak the Mighty has answered her daughter. The northern lights form a gigantic magnet in Nelvana's outstretched arms. Under the sea, the glittering bombs begin ticking ominously. But suddenly, by Koliak's unseen magnetic force, they rise to the surface. Powerful electric rays reach from the sky to sea. The waves are parted by the skyward bound bombs. There they all are. Thousands of treacherous-looking explosions are drawn to the enormous magnet of light. There's so many terrific explosions. And Nelvana is happy. We have foiled the evil. Brunette's carefully prepared plan to rob and starve our people. Our hunters will not set their nets in vain. But we must rid the Northland of evildoers. At this point I was wondering, what was the purpose? This is the bad guy. There he is. Commander Toroff. So, you know, he was trying to starve the people, but rob? Does that mean plan to rob and starve our people? Rob them of their food? He's just killing the food. He's starving them. So that cursed Arctic waif and her dog think they have won. Ha, ha. They underestimate Toroff's power. Order all ships to speed away from the iceberg, then spread out for a surprise attack from all directions. Shoot the dog, but bring me the girl alive. So then it says that it'll be continued in next month's exciting issue. And that's how far I got. I did read the beginning. Yeah, the forewords by the editors. And like all these old comics, you know, you gotta talk about, you know, there's racism and such. But it's a time capsule from comic stories long ago. So that one wasn't too cringy. You know, from what I understand, like the Eskimos, that they're calling them Eskimos, they wouldn't have been Eskimos. In Canada's north, I think the Eskimos are the west side, the Alaskan side. That'd be the Inuit. But it's pretty cool. I am going to read all these. It was 2015, when it first came out, I did look through this exact copy from the library. And I hadn't really read much of any Golden Age. And if you're used to the modern comics, then, you know, maybe this isn't your cup of tea. But I have since come to really love the early days of the comic books. At the back, we'll just look here at the back, they have some pin-ups by modern day artists. Oh, there was also like some color pages in here. Look at this. One of the comics must have been in color. Hey, is that De Niro? Yeah, so all the Canadian comics during this time were black and white. And I say this while we're looking at a color one, but they were dubbed the Canadian Whites. looks like that could be a Spirit comic. I haven't read a lot of the Spirit, but I know that looks like one of the femme fatales. The death-dealing double. So let's just take a look at the... Oh, there he is. There's the guy. John Adrian Darley Dingle, commonly known as Adrian Dingle. He was a Cornish man born in Wales, 1911. In 1914, he and his family moved to Canada. Oh, you know what? I hadn't looked at these yet. Looks like Nelvana had some cover appearances, because I'm sure Triumph Comics probably featured many stories. 10 cents. Oh, look at her there. That must be a... Man, if you could find one of those, a Hitler cover with Nelvana, I'd probably go for some coin. It's awesome. That's like Sergeant Preston's dog, King. Get him, King. Yeah, so we go from issue 21 to 25. So, maybe they just couldn't find the covers of the other ones. I don't know. Canada's first Superwoman. J-Bone. I like this one. I like all these, I think. Kate Ruff. This Jeff Lemire guy. He's a popular Canadian artist, cartoonist guy I've heard of. He did the Tragically Hip. Gordon Downey wrote a comic, yeah. I didn't read that one yet. It's really big, like, size-wise. Michael Walsh. So there's one with the Northern Lights. Koliak. This guy. That works well. There's Nelvana with the falling bombs. This would be with the more traditional First Nations. I'm sorry, I don't know nothing, but I know they get these tattoos, the ladies at a certain age. So maybe where she was from, maybe Nelvana should have had that on her chin. But this was a very cutesy one, but just from the one comic that I read, it probably doesn't really maybe fit. It'd be like if Nelvana was suddenly making the heart. Like, I don't think maybe that would be appropriate. Yeah, that one's cool. Marco Rudy. Yeah, there's another one with the tattoo on the cheek. Ooh, Alex Perkins. I like that one, black and white. They could have even done more light in the Northern Lights there to make it stand out. This one here, there's another cute one. But again, like I said, I just read the first comic, but what did they say? Like when she came from the sky, it was like regal, regally, regali. Maybe she plays with polar bear cubs. This looks like something. looks like a fun one for the kids. Katie Shanahan. Look at that one. So good, Sam. Alright, there we go. We have it. Here we have it. Oh, these were people who helped out with their support. Terry Moore. Is that Terry Moore? All right. Wow. There we have Nelvana of the Northern Lights. From Canada's 4.